Hey Sagittarius, I need to share something really interesting with you today about financial energy and how the universe is setting things up for you. I just finished doing this reading and honestly, the insights that came through were so specific and practical that I had to record this right away. So before I get into the cards, let me just say this reading is about the energetic pathway to attracting financial blessings. And I know that sounds kind of abstract, but what came through is actually incredibly concrete. The universe has some very specific guidance for you about how to align yourself with abundance. And it is not what most people think, alright. So the first card I pulled for you is the Magician. And when this card showed up, I actually had to pause for a second because the energy was so clear. The Magician is telling me that you have every single tool you need right now to manifest financial abundance. Like literally everything is already in your possession. But here is where it gets interesting. The Magician is not about wishing or hoping or visualizing. It is about taking the raw materials of your life and actively combining them in new ways. What I am seeing for you, Sagittarius, is that there is a skill or talent you have been underutilizing. Maybe you think it is not valuable enough, or maybe you have been so focused on your main hustle that you forgot about this other thing you are really good at. The universe is saying that this is where unexpected money is going to flow from. Not necessarily from working harder at what you are already doing, but from recognizing that you have this other avenue that you have not fully explored yet. And the Magician is also talking about communication. There is something you need to articulate clearly, whether that is pitching an idea, asking for what you deserve, or putting yourself out there in a way you have been hesitant about. The financial blessing is not just going to land in your lap. You have to actively channel it by using your voice and your skills with intention. I am seeing that within the next few weeks, there is going to be an opportunity for you to demonstrate what you can do. And the way you present yourself in that moment is going to directly impact the financial flow that follows. The really cool thing about the Magician energy is that it is immediate. This is not a card about waiting for the right timing. It is about recognizing that the timing is now and that you already have everything you need. So if you have been waiting for permission or waiting to feel ready, the universe is basically saying stop waiting. The energetic pathway opens when you take action with what you already possess. Okay, so the next card is Two of Cups. And this is where things get really interesting because we are talking about financial blessings and a partnership card shows up. Now, Two of Cups is traditionally about romantic connection, but in the context of money and abundance. This is telling me that a collaboration or partnership is key to your financial expansion right now. I am seeing that you might meet someone, or you might already know someone who has complementary skill as to yours. And when I say partnership, I do not necessarily mean a formal business partnership, although it could be. This could be a mentor, a client who becomes a long-term supporter, a friend who introduces you to the right people, or even a romantic partner who supports your vision in unexpected ways. The energy of Two of Cups is about mutual benefit and equal exchange. So this is not about you doing all the giving or all the taking. This is about finding someone where the energy exchange is balanced and both people elevate each other. What I am picking up specifically for Sagittarius is that you might have a tendency to want to do everything yourself because you value your freedom and independence. But the universe is showing me that the financial breakthrough you are looking for actually requires you to open up to collaboration. There is also something here about emotional intelligence being tied to financial success for you right now. The Two of Cups is a heart-centered card, and it is saying that your ability to connect authentically with people, to listen to what they really need, and to build genuine relationships is going to be directly connected to your financial growth. This is especially true if you work in any kind of service industry or if your income depends on client relationships or sales. I am also getting that someone might approach you with an offer or an opportunity in the coming weeks, and your initial reaction might be to be skeptical or to want to maintain your independence. But the cards are encouraging you to really consider it, because this connection has the potential to open doors that you could not open alone. The financial blessing is not just in the money itself. It is in the relationship that facilitates the money. Now the third card I pulled is the Lovers. And okay, I know this might seem similar to Two of Cups, but the energy is actually quite different. The Lovers is about choice and alignment. This card showed up to tell you that you are at a crossroads financially, and the decision you make in the next little while is going to determine which energetic pathway you walk down. Here's what I am seeing. You might be facing a choice between the safe option and the option that actually excites you. Maybe it is about staying in a job that pays well but drains you versus taking a risk on something you are passionate about. Or maybe it is about choosing between two different opportunities and not being sure which one is the right move. The Lovers is saying that the pathway to financial blessings is through alignment with your authentic values and desires, not through logic or practicality alone. I know that sounds a little woo-woo, but let me explain what I mean. When you make choices based purely on what makes sense financially in the short term, you might actually block the bigger blessings that are trying to come through. The universe works through flow and resonance, and when you are in a situation that is not aligned with who you really are, the energy gets blocked. You might make okay money, but you will not make great money. And you definitely will not make easy money. The Lovers is encouraging you to choose the path that makes your heart sing, even if it feels a little scary or uncertain. And I am not saying quit your job tomorrow or make reckless decisions. What I am saying is that if you have been feeling torn between security and passion, the cards are showing that passion is actually the more secure choice in the long run because that is where your energy flows most powerfully. There is also something here about self-worth. The Lovers can indicate that you need to make a choice to value yourself more highly. Maybe you have been undercharging for your services or accepting less than you deserve because you are afraid of asking for more. The financial blessing is waiting on the other side of you choosing to honor your own value. This might mean having an uncomfortable conversation about money, setting new rates, or walking away from situations where you are not being compensated fairly. The fourth card is Five of Wands. And this one is interesting because it is traditionally seen as a conflict card. But in the context of attracting financial blessings, it is actually showing me something different. Five of Wands is about competition and challenge. Yes, but it is also about the creative friction that happens when different ideas and approaches come together. What I am picking up for you, Sagittarius, is that you are entering where you are already in a field or a situation where there is a lot of competition. And your initial reaction might be to see this as a bad thing, like there is not enough to go around or you have to fight for scraps. But the universe is actually showing me that this competitive environment is exactly where you thrive. The challenge energizes you and brings out your best work. The key here is not to see other people as obstacles, but as sparring partners who push you to level up. Five of Wands has this playful quality to it, like kids wrestling or athletes training together. It is not about destroying the competition, it is about everyone getting better through the dynamic exchange of energy and ideas. And when you approach it from that perspective, the competitive environment becomes the very thing that attracts financial abundance to you because you are constantly innovating and improving. I am also seeing that you might need to advocate for yourself more strongly than you have been. Five of Wands can indicate that you need to get comfortable with a little bit of conflict or pushback. Because the people who succeed financially are often the ones who are willing to stand their ground and negotiate assertively. If you have been avoiding difficult conversations about money or backing down too easily when someone challenges your rates or your ideas, Five of Wands is saying it is time to develop a thicker skin and fight for what you deserve. There is also a message here about scattered energy. Five of Wands can show up when you are pursuing too many things at once and your focus is fragmented. And for Sagittarius, this is definitely something to watch out for because you have a natural tendency to be interested in everything and want to explore multiple paths simultaneously. But the financial blessing that is trying to come through requires you to focus your competitive energy on one or two main areas rather than spreading yourself too thin across 5 different projects. Consolidate your efforts, and you will see much faster financial results. The fifth card is Wheel of Fortune. And oh my goodness, Sagittarius, this is such a powerful card for you right now. Wheel of Fortune is literally the card of cycles and timing and destiny. It is telling me that you are entering a new cycle of luck and opportunity when it comes to finances. Like the wheel is turning in your favor after a period where maybe it felt like you were stuck or things were moving slowly. Wheel of Fortune is ruled by Jupiter, which is also your ruling planet. So there is this double Jupiter energy happening which amplifies expansion and growth and good fortune. This is not something you have to force or make happen. This is something that is already in motion cosmically. Your job is to recognize it and ride the wave rather than resisting it or not believing it is real. What I am seeing specifically is that there is going to be an unexpected opportunity or a stroke of good luck related to money in the next month or two. This could come in so many different forms. Maybe you win something, maybe you get an unexpected refund or bonus, maybe an old debt gets repaid, maybe someone offers you an opportunity out of nowhere. The key characteristic of Wheel of Fortune energy is that it feels fated and somewhat out of your control in the best possible way. But here's the thing about Wheel of Fortune that a lot of people miss. Yes, it represents luck and destiny, but it also represents cycles and patterns. So part of the message here is about recognizing patterns in your own financial life. Have you noticed that certain times of year are better for you financially? Have you noticed that certain types of activities or approaches consistently lead to more abundance? The wheel is asking you to pay attention to these patterns and work with them rather than against them. There is also a spiritual component to Wheel of Fortune. This card is asking you to trust in something bigger than yourself. Whether you call it the universe, God, source energy, or just life itself, there is a benevolent force at work in your life that wants you to prosper. And sometimes the pathway to financial blessings is not about hustling harder but about relaxing into trust and allowing the wheel to turn in your favor. I am also getting that you should pay attention to synchronicities and signs over the next few weeks. Wheel of Fortune energy often announces itself through meaningful coincidences, repeated numbers, unexpected encounters, or things lining up in ways that feel almost magical. These are not random. These are confirmations that you are on the right path and that the financial blessings are already making their way to you. Okay, so the sixth card is King of Swords. And this card is bringing a very different energy to the reading. After all the flow and luck and partnership energy, King of Swords is coming in with a message about strategy, clarity, and intellectual mastery. This is telling me that part of your energetic pathway to financial abundance involves getting really clear and strategic about your financial goals and plans. King of Swords is the master strategist. He is not emotional about money. He is rational and analytical. He looks at the facts, makes a plan, and executes it with precision. And for you Sagittarius, who can sometimes be more visionary and big-picture oriented, this card is asking you to zoom in on the details and get organized about your finances. What I am picking up specifically is that you need to educate yourself about something related to money. Maybe it is learning about investing, maybe it is understanding taxes better, maybe it is figuring out how to price your services more strategically, or maybe it is just getting clear on your actual numbers instead of having a vague sense of your financial situation. Knowledge is power with King of Swords, and the more you understand about how money actually works, the more effectively you can attract it. There is also a message here about boundaries and discernment. King of Swords is really good at saying no to things that do not serve him. He does not get swayed by emotional appeals or manipulated into bad deals. He trusts his judgment and makes decisions based on logic and evidence. So if you have been saying yes to financial situations that do not really benefit you, whether that is lending money you cannot afford to lend, taking on clients who do not pay well, or investing in things that do not align with your goals, King of Swords is asking you to cut those things out. I am also seeing that you might need to have a difficult conversation where you need to be very clear and direct about money. This could be asking for a raise, renegotiating a contract, or telling someone that you cannot afford to help them financially right now. King of Swords gives you the courage to have these conversations with clarity and confidence rather than avoiding them, because they feel uncomfortable. The really powerful thing about King of Swords is that he represents mastery through experience and learning. So even if you do not feel like a financial expert right now, this card is saying that you have the intellectual capacity to become one. Study, learn, ask questions, get advice from people who know more than you. The financial blessing is not just money dropping into your lap. It is you developing the wisdom and strategy to manage and grow wealth over time. The seventh card is Seven of Swords. And okay, this is an interesting one because Seven of Swords is often seen as the deception or theft card. But I am actually getting a different read on it for you in this context. Seven of Swords is about strategy and sometimes unconventional approaches. It is about being clever and finding the angle that other people might not see. What I am picking up is that the financial blessing you are looking for might not come through the traditional route you expected. Seven of Swords is encouraging you to think outside the box and be willing to take an unconventional path. Maybe everyone in your field does things a certain way, but you are getting ideas about doing it differently. Trust those instincts. Your unique approach is actually your competitive advantage. There is also something here about protecting your ideas and your intellectual property. Seven of Swords can indicate that you need to be a bit more strategic about what you share and who you share it with. If you have a great idea or you are working on something innovative, you might want to keep it under wraps until you have executed on it rather than telling everyone about it prematurely. Not because people are necessarily out to steal from you, but because ideas lose power when they get dissipated through too much talk before action. I am also seeing that there might be a situation where you need to retrieve something that belongs to you. Maybe someone owes you money, maybe you left value on the table in a previous negotiation, or maybe there is an opportunity you walked away from that you should actually revisit. Seven of Swords is about reclaiming what is yours, so do not be afraid to go back and ask for what you deserve even if some time has passed. Now, Seven of Swords also has a message about working smarter, not harder. You might be exhausting yourself trying to do everything the hard way when there are shortcuts or tools or systems that could make your life so much easier. This card is encouraging you to look for efficiencies and to be willing to bend the rules a little bit if it means achieving your financial goals more quickly. I am not saying do anything unethical, but I am saying do not be so rigid about the how that you miss opportunities to innovate. The eighth card is Eight of Pentacles. And this card makes me really happy because it is the card of skill development and mastery and dedicated work. Eight of Pentacles is showing me that a major part of your energetic pathway to financial abundance is about becoming really freaking good at what you do. Like not just competent, but genuinely masterful. What I am seeing for you, Sagittarius, is that you are either in or about to enter a period of dedicated practice and improvement. And I know that might not sound as exciting as suddenly manifesting $1 million, but this is actually where sustainable wealth comes from. Eight of Pentacles is about putting in the hours, refining your craft, learning new techniques, and committing to excellence. And when you operate at that level of quality, the money follows naturally because people can feel the difference. I am picking up that there might be a specific skill or certification or training program that you have been considering, and Eight of Pentacles is a green light to pursue it. The investment you make in developing your skills right now will pay off exponentially in the future. This could be a formal education thing, or it could be self-directed learning, but either way, the universe is supporting you in becoming more competent and confident in your area of expertise. There is also a beautiful message here about finding fulfillment in the work itself. Eight of Pentacles shows a craftsman who is completely absorbed in what he is creating. He is not thinking about the paycheck, he is focused on making something excellent. And paradoxically, when you bring that level of presence and care to your work, that is when the financial rewards multiply. Because people can feel when someone is phoning it in versus when someone is bringing their full attention and skill to what they do. I am also seeing that you might need to develop more discipline and consistency in your financial life. Eight of Pentacles is about showing up every day and doing the work even when you do not feel inspired. For Sagittarius, who loves freedom and variety, this can be challenging. But the financial blessing that is available to you requires you to build reliable systems and routines. Maybe it is tracking your expenses daily, reaching out to a certain number of potential clients each week, or dedicating specific time blocks to income-generating activities. The consistency is what creates the container for abundance to flow into. The ninth card is Ten of Pentacles, and wow, Sagittarius, this is the ultimate abundance and legacy card. Ten of Pentacles is not just about having money, it is about lasting wealth and financial security that extends beyond just you. It is about creating something that provides for your family or your community or future generations. What I am seeing with this card is that the financial blessings that are coming to you are bigger and more long-term than you might be thinking. You are not just attracting a temporary windfall, you are building towards real wealth and stability. And this might require you to think differently about money than you have in the past. Ten of Pentacles is asking you to consider legacy. What do you want to build that will last? What do you want to be able to provide for the people you love? There is also a message here about family and inheritance. For some of you, there might literally be money or property or resources coming through family channels. This could be an inheritance, or it could be family members supporting you financially, or it could be you going into business with family. For others, the message is more metaphorical about building your own family wealth from the ground up and being the one who breaks generational patterns of financial struggle. 10 of Pentacles also talks about traditional structures and established systems. So part of your pathway to financial abundance might involve working within existing frameworks rather than trying to reinvent everything. Maybe it is getting a mortgage and investing in property. Maybe it is contributing to retirement accounts. Maybe it is building a business that has a solid traditional model rather than chasing the newest trend. There is wisdom in proven approaches, and this card is encouraging you to take the long view. I am also picking up that you might be receiving guidance or mentorship from someone older or more established than you. 10 of Pentacles often represents elders or authority figures who have wisdom to share. If someone with more experience is offering you advice about finances or offering to help you in some way, take them seriously. They have walked the path before you and can help you avoid mistakes and accelerate your success. The 10th and final card I pulled for you is the High Priestess. And this is such a perfect card to end on because it brings us back to the spiritual and intuitive dimension of attracting financial blessings. The High Priestess is all about inner knowing and trusting your intuition and accessing wisdom that exists beyond the logical mind. What I am getting with this card is that you already know deep down what you need to do to align with financial abundance. Like if you get really quiet and tune into your inner guidance, the answers are there. The High Priestess is encouraging you to trust your gut instincts about financial decisions, even when they do not make logical sense on the surface. Your intuition is incredibly accurate right now, especially regarding money matters. There is also a message here about the unseen forces at work in your financial life. The High Priestess operates in the realm of mystery and magic and the subconscious. She is reminding you that there is more happening behind the scenes than you can see or understand rationally. Energetic shifts are occurring, synchronicities are being arranged, opportunities are being prepared. Your job is to stay open and receptive rather than trying to control every detail. I am picking up that some of you might benefit from incorporating spiritual practices into your relationship with money. This could be as simple as meditating before making financial decisions, journaling about your money blocks, doing visualization or affirmation work around abundance, or even working with a financial therapist or coach who understands the emotional and energetic components of wealth. The High Priestess is saying that your financial breakthrough might come through inner work rather than just outer hustle. There is also something here about secrets and hidden information. The High Priestess knows things that are not common knowledge. So part of your pathway to financial blessings might involve accessing information or opportunities that are not widely advertised or known. This could mean networking in more intimate circles, asking questions that others are not asking, or being curious about alternative approaches to generating income that most people are not aware of. Finally, the High Priestess is reminding you to balance action with receptivity. You have had a lot of action-oriented cards in this reading, but this final card is saying do not forget the power of allowing. Sometimes the best thing you can do for your financial situation is to relax, trust, and let things unfold. Create space for miracles. Stay open to unexpected pathways. Let the universe surprise you with how the blessings arrive. So Sagittarius, to bring this all together, your energetic pathway to attracting financial blessings involves using the skills and resources you already have, opening up to collaboration and partnership, making choices that align with your authentic values, embracing healthy competition, trusting in divine timing and cycles, developing strategic clarity about your finances, being clever and unconventional in your approach, dedicating yourself to mastery and skill development, building towards lasting wealth and legacy, and trusting your deep intuitive knowing about what is right for you financially. The universe is absolutely supporting your financial expansion right now. The cards are showing me that you have everything you need and that the blessings are already in motion. Your job is to stay aligned, take inspired action, trust the process, and remain open to receive in whatever form the abundance wants to come through. I hope this reading gave you some clarity and encouragement. If any of this resonated with you or if you have experienced any of these energies in your life, I would love to hear about it. Wishing you all the abundance and blessings that are meant for you.